arm number 9 will now be coming back to its fully retracted position at the pad. Mark, the swing arm now moving back from the spacecraft as planned at the 5-minute mark in the count. Just before coming up on the swing arm removal, we went through our final status checks and received a loud and strong go from the mission director, Chet Lee, launch operations manager, Paul Donnelly, and launch director, Walt Caprian, responding to the request from the test supervisor. The lights now will be coming on the abort panels of astronaut Pete Conrad. These are his cue lights for the 5 engines in the first stage. These 5 lights remain on. When we get proper thrust for liftoff, the lights go out, informing the spacecraft commander that he has good thrust beneath them. We're coming up now on the 4-minute mark. Pete Conrad reports his lights are on. Spacecraft test conductor Skip Chauvin has said, "Have a good trip, Pete." Pete reported back, "We appreciate everything everyone has done." 4 minutes and counting, still proceeding at this time. We'll be coming up on our automatic sequence at 3 minutes and 10 seconds in the countdown. We're going through our final Astro launch checks at this time as the countdown continues. During these checks just now, the launch operations manager, Paul Donnelly, said to Pete Conrad, "The launch team wishes you good luck. May the wind be always behind you." Pete Conrad said, "Thank you very much." Count still continuing. Final checks of the guidance and navigation system going on now. Pete Conrad reporting back on their status. We'll be coming up on the automatic sequence in about 10 seconds. From that time on down, we're completely automatic, leading up to the 8.9 second mark in the count when we get the ignition sequence. Mark, firing command. Launch sequence start. We have the firing command. We're on automatic sequence. T-minus 3 minutes and counting. T-minus 3. Once the automatic sequence began, we begin pressurizing those big fuel and oxidizer tanks, the overall propeller tanks, in the 3 stages of the Saturn V launch vehicle. This will lead us up to 8.9 seconds when the engine ignition sequence begins. The 5 engines in the first stage will ignite, building up 7.6 million pounds thrust total. This should occur at the 0 mark in the count. We will get verification through the computer that we have proper thrust. The hold-down arms will release and will be off with Apollo 12. 2 minutes, 20 seconds, and counting at this time. Seconds at this time. We see that the stages are now beginning to pressurize as our countdown proceeds. Coming up on the 2-minute mark in the count. T-minus 2 minutes and counting. T-minus 2. Spacecraft commander now has placed the environmental control system of the spacecraft on internal. Up to this time, we've been providing external sources for the environmental control system. We're checking the hydraulics of the first stage of the launch vehicle now. We are still go. 1 minute, 40 seconds, and counting at this time. T-minus 90 seconds and counting. T-minus 90, still go. Our status board here in firing room 2 indicates all is still well with the countdown. 3rd stage tanks now pressurized as the automatic sequence continues. 1 minute, 15 seconds and counting. Astronaut Alan Bean has just bought the entry batteries on the main power source in the spacecraft. We've conserved those batteries up to this time. We're coming up on 60 seconds. Mark, T-minus 60 seconds and counting. T-minus 60. Alan Bean running up the volume on his VHF. 50 seconds and counting. 50. We've now got internal power with the launch vehicle. We're on the internal batteries in the 3 stages of the Saturn V. T-minus 40 seconds and counting. The spacecraft commander now performing his final function, pressing a button to align the guidance and control system of the spacecraft. Coming up on 30. Mark, T-minus 30 seconds and counting. T-minus 30. 25 seconds and counting. We're still proceeding. T-minus 20. 17 seconds. Swing arm back. We have guidance in general. 10, 9, 8. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engines running. Commit. Liftoff. We have liftoff. 11:22 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Thrusters go. All engines.
Conrad reports that your program is in.
Flight Spider, we're going the IC.
Roger, clear the tower. I got a pitch and a roll program, and this baby is really going.
Roger, Pete.
That's a lovely liftoff. That's not bad at all. Roll's complete.
Roger, Pete. Clock's in sync, Flight. Roger. Mark 1 Bravo.
Roger, we know a bunch of buses going off.
Hey, listen, Fido. We're good.
Where's got your GDC? Okay, we just lost the platform, gang. I don't know what happened here. We had everything in the world drop out.
Roger.
I got 3 fuel cell lights, an AC bus light, fuel cell disconnect, AC bus overload 1 and 2, main bus A and B out.
How's it looking, Ecom? Ecom, what do you see? What, Ecom? Try SCE to off. Say again? SCE to off? Off. SCE to aux. Auxiliary point. SCE to aux, Capcom. What panel? Ecom?
Houston, try SCE to auxiliary, over.
NCE to auxiliary.
SCE to auxiliary.
What panel, Ecom? We got it back, Flight. Looks good. Okay. Okay, how's it
good now?
Stand by 1 Charlie. Roger. Mark 1 Charlie.
1 Charlie.
Staging status. Booster,
1 Charlie.
go. Fido, go. Guidance, go. Flight. Capcom, go for staging. How's the GNN looking, guidance? Flight, Ecom. Go. Try to put the fuel cells back on the line. If not, try that Charlie to main A and B. Okay, try to reset them.
Apollo 12 Houston, try to reset your fuel cells now.
No go, try back Charlie to main A and B. Head inboard out, Flight. We're looking good. Flight, Ecom, we got 1 and 2 on the line. Need fuel cell 3. Okay, he's working.
Okay.
Staging, Flight. See, how's it looking, guy, Ecom?
Roger, we got bodies. You're looking good.
Got the third fuel
Okay,
cell
now
on.
we'll straighten out our problems here. I don't know what happened. I'm not sure we can get hit by lightning.
Thrusters go, Flight. Roger.
Your thruster's looking good, Pete.
Flight,
Okay,
come on.
I have a
Fuel cells
good
on. We're go.
GDC, and Al has got the fuel cells back on, and we'll be working on our AC buses.
Right, Pete, your fuel cells look good down here.
Confirm second plane,
I
second
think we need to do a little more all-weather testing.
Amen.
Flight, Fido,
Here goes the
trajectories go.
tower, gang. That's the way clean. It looks good.
Good show, Pete. You're in mode 2.
Roger, in mode 2.
Yeah, how you doing? We're go, Flight. That guidance initiate, it's converged, looks good. What does the platform look like to you? The data coming out of it doesn't look good at all. Okay. Flighty, we've got good telemetry now.
Okay, we've got an ISS light on, and we've got a cycling CO2 partial pressure high, which I don't bother me particularly, and we have reset all the fuel cells. We have all the buses back on the line, and we'll just square up the platform when we get into orbit.
That sounds good, Captain.
That sounds good.
Flighty, I'm looking good here.
Hey, that's one of the better sims, believe me.
We've had a couple of cardiac arrests down here, too. Pete.
GNC, Flight. Anything you wanted to do to the platform? Negative, Flight.
There's nothing to do in
You don't want to cage or anything like that?
Running here, and correct me, I'm going to give you a mark at 4 plus 30. I've lost my event timer, and mark 4 plus 30.
Looks good, Pete.
Flight, Fido. Flight, Fido, go. Be advised, there'll be no S4B to COI call. No S4B to COI call.
Roger,
No
Dick.
flat. Flight. Flight, guys. Go ahead. GNN, obviously no go, so we'll be a 1 impulse mode 4 backup.
Okay, we're
If I
thinking.
need it, right? Capcom, Flight.
Go.
since we don't have the platform, we won't make an S4B to COI call, and any mode 4 would be on the backup. One impulse.
Okay.
Flight booster. Go booster.
All times are normal. 8 plus 37, 9 plus 1, 1.
Roger.
Okay, understand. And can you give us some good words like, let's get the IMU calm down is rolling all over the place.
Okay, Pete, and if you do a mode 4, it'll be on the backup.
Yeah, no, I got a good SCS.
Okay, good show.
GNC, is there anything you want to do
I
there?
got a little
On the platform?
vibration of some kind.
Flight GNC, we're working on it right now. It should not be doing that.
Say again?
It should not be doing that. It should be course aligned.
Could that just be its FDAI?
Negative, but I think it is the platform. We're reading it out here, too.
Okay, come to me if you want me to. If you want to do something to it, pull a circuit breaker or anything.
Roger.
Stand by for the gimbal motors, Houston, at 6.
Capcom
Roger,
flight.
12. Go flight.
Capcom level sensor arm 8 plus 37, cutoff 9 plus 1, 1.
Okay.
Apollo 12, Houston, level sense arm, 8 plus 3, 7, cutoff, 9er plus 1, 1.
Okay, here comes the gimbal motor.
Stand by S4B to orbit.
Roger.
Flightycom gimbal's on.
Roger.
Mark, S4B to orbit.
Mark S4B to orbit.
S4B to orbit.
GNC flight.
GNC.
What do you want to do at the platform now?
We'll get you an answer in just a second, flight.
Best hurry.
Tell him how good his IU's doing. That might make him feel better.
Yeah, tell him he's right on the trajectory. No problems there.
Apollo 12, Houston, you're right smack dab on the trajectory. Your IU's doing a beautiful job.
Okay, we're all chuckling up here over the lights. We all said there were so many on we couldn't read them.
Flight Inco.
Go.
We need Omni Delta. I don't think they're switched.
Okay, Capcom Omni Delta.
12, Houston, give us Omni Delta.
Roger's on the Delta.
Flight GNC.
Go.
Recommend they take the IMU power to standby and then back to on.
IMU power to standby and then to on. You expect that'll stop it?
It should start the 90-second cage cycle.
Okay. Capcom, IMU power to standby, then to on.
Apollo 12, Houston, we can start getting that platform squared away. Go IMU power standby and then back to on. We'll get cage depth.
Staging status. Booster, go. We just had BU shift, right? Looks good. Roger, flight
We'll
over.
wait till we get through.
We'll go, flight.
Guys, go.
Okay, as soon as you can reach it, that's the way to go.
Capcom, we'll go for staging.
Apollo 12, Houston, go for staging.
Roger, we're go for staging.
Flight throttle.
Go.
One more time, mode 4 call. We'll be
You
late.
want the LMP to turn off the GNN power and then bring it back on, and you want to use
Mark
the
level
IMU
sense on.
switch, is that right?
Standby.
Stand by on that, Pete.
What you want, GNC?
I couldn't copy it, flight.
He asked if you wanted the LMP to pull the power completely off and back on, or do you want him to use his switch?
We'd recommend the switch first. If that doesn't go through, we'll pull the circuit breaker and leave it off for a while.
Okay, let's get him after staging.
Did I read that S4 or mode 4 is going to be late?
Got a good S4B, nice smooth staging.
Thrust okay, flight.
Roger, Pete, your thrust looks good.
Okay, give us some more words on the IMU now.
Okay, Capcom standby. It looks like if he can't get that switch until we get to orbit, GNC, can we have the LMP do something? What about just having him
We're
cage?
still talking.
Okay.
Flight guides,
Reluctant
it's
to do that,
converged.
flight. That's
Looks
kind of
good.
hard on the IMU.
Well, it's probably just as hard to have it tossing around, too.
I think we ought to just get any power off the IMU that you can right now, whatever circuit breaker they can reach.
Okay, but what is that?
Standby mode 4, mark mode 4. Mark mode 4.
Mark mode 4.
Roger, mode 4.
How about a course of line? Can we feed something into the disky?
African overflight.
GNC? How about letting the computer just course align it?
Flight, the computer already thinks it is course aligned, but it's missing a bit there someplace.
Well, can we reset it by going through the disky?
Flight, can they reach panel 5 circuit breakers?
We should be able to.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's a first-class ride, Houston.
Kind of a rough start.
Yeah?
You got predicted cutoff guidance, flight guide?
Go. Cut off 11 plus 3.5. 11 plus 3.5.
11 plus 3.5.
Flight
12
GNC.
Houston, cutoff 11 plus 3.5.
1-1 plus 3-5, roger, roger.
Flight GNC.
Go.
They should be able to pull the main A, main B circuit breakers on panel 5.
Okay.
Cleared Africa.
Shut down 1 plus 3-3, Houston.
Roger.
Cutoff flight. Okay.
Flight Fido looks good.
Roger. GNC, give me the exact name of those circuit breakers now.
That's the IMU main A, main B circuit breakers.
On panel 5. You want to pull those?
Yes.
Okay, Capcom, let's go with that.
Flight, you really want to do that? We're almost to a point
Flight
where they
Fido,
can
we
use
go.
the switch now.
They're probably going to be a little while getting to it, though, while they're cleaning up the cockpit. Yeah, let's go ahead and have him pull those circuit breakers.
Apollo 12, Houston, before you get down there to work on that switch, try pulling on panel 5, your IMU main A and main B breakers.
Flight GNC.
Okay, that's it.
Fido flight, all sources agree, go.
We're go, flight, yes, 4B is safe.
Roger.
Your S4B safe now, stand by.
And we got to go orbit.
Affirm.
You got to go orbit, you're looking good.
What do you want him to do next?
Stand by. He's going to have to go through a complete alignment here. GNC flight.
GNC.
When he gets around to aligning, you just want him to put those circuit breakers back in and cycle that power switch the way you said?
Roger. We'd like to leave the breakers open a minimum of 3 minutes before closing them.
Okay, we can get that over Canary. Flight booster, go. Saturn's configured for orbit, and we'll go. Roger. Capcom, tell him that's S4B looks good, configured for orbit.
Flight Fido.
Okay.
12 Houston,
Flight
your
Fido.
S4B is
Go,
looking
Fido.
good. You're
Showing a
configured for orbit.
102.5 by 100. Roger, Houston.
Capcom, our orbit's 102.5 by 100.
Roger, 12, your orbit is 102.5 by 100.
At least that didn't lose it.
Okay, Capcom, tell him we'd like to leave those circuit breakers out at least 3 minutes, and after that he can
Houston, be
go.
advised that I am resetting on the stabilization and control system logic bus A3-4 breaker, which was out for some reason.
Roger, Pete, we copy. Also on your IMU main A and B breakers, let's leave them out for at least 3 minutes.
Okay, and then what do you want us to do? Reset them and come up with a P51 when we get in the darkness?
That's probably right.
That
Capcom,
looks like
stand by.
the right plan, Pete. We're
GNC,
still
is that
talking.
what you
We'll
want?
give you a final on it.
Flight guy.
Okay,
Go, guys. Trying to get a rest and load out.